All right, you guys. So, welcome back to another episode of Andor, episode 11. Episode 10 was absolutely off the charts. The final arc of the third arc of the first season of the Andor series turned out to be a absolute blast. It was our prison break episode, and we saw Andor and Kino lead the break out of the prison using some very, very cool methods, using the water to short out the electrified floor, and then making their escape up the movable panel, which did not have an electrical floor, and making their way through the prison, taking over the main hub of the prison, shutting the power down, and getting everyone out. We also saw Mon Mothma meet with the mysterious banker gangster that we saw in the last episode, and basically his motivation or his reasoning for doing business with Mon Mothma is to kind of marry into a legitimate family, namely her family, by bringing his son back to Coruscant and meeting up with Mon Mothma's daughter. So very interesting development there as well. And then, of course, we find that there is a mole amongst the IBS ranks, which is Lonnie, the very subtle background character who's had a few lines here and there, but he's always been in the background, just kind of, well, now we know, listening to what's going on and reporting his findings to Luthen, as we saw in the final scene of the last episode, where Luthen gave a outstanding monologue about what he has sacrificed for this rebellion. Just a very moving speech by Skarsgård, and just outstanding acting all the way around in this series. You have the performance that was given by Andy Serkis, and then you turn around and get this performance by Skarsgård in just one simple scene, which really just blew the lid off of this particular episode, and was just some outstanding work, guys. So really enjoyed this series thoroughly. Okay, guys, so again, we're getting into our 11th episode of the series. This particular episode is called The Daughter of Ferrix, about 46 minutes runtime, guys, so a little bit shorter, but the last episode was actually 46 minutes as well, and was absolutely enjoyable. Let's get into this episode, guys. Oh, man, is he still... Man, look! Woo!
Come put my hands. They're living.
Dude.
Don't say it now. They're living. I'm gonna take her out in a minute if you want to say goodbye.
Oh, man. Is she gone?
I'll have them clear the room if you want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone. I want Mother Marva.
His mother is dead. Oh man, Marva's dead. That sucks. And he didn't get to say anything to her.
It looks like it's just these two. They didn't walk here. I think all right.
I like how they're not going to just show you that they just got off planet. They're showing us how he got off planet.
Hello? What is it? It's a quad jumper. Can you fly it? I don't know. It's an old one. good?
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, fellas. Ah.
What?
Oh, much squibbly now. What's that?
Oh, you drinking? No harm. We kill nothing. Nothing.
Prison runner. Spoil our water, eh? Wise to be jumping quickly, though. Where ye be looking to run now, eh?
Yes.
Oh.
Andor, the mother died. I'm leaving in the morning. Cinta says it's very busy there.
Well, let him know.
Do that.
A lot of tension between those two. Man, she is messed up. Ugh, look at Biggs. Wow, she is.
I'm going to ask you a question. I expect an honest answer. If I'm not sure it's the truth, I'll have to call back Dr. Gorst. Anto Krieger. That name.
Anto Krieger.
This face. Have a good look. Is this the man you introduced to Cassian Andor? Fix.
Don't tell me you're taking proposals.
I'm in so much trouble, though. But then how dark. Suddenly everything is frozen. I thought Tay could help me replace the credits and get me started again, but what he really did was discover just how much more trouble I was in.
How much is missing?
14.
400.
Oh, 400,000.
And I'm looking into this when?
Soon. Very soon.
She's gonna get the money. She knows where some money is.
Does Luther know?
Some, no, not really. He warned me. Who knows what he knows?
This can't be exposed.
I know that. I found a solution.
Andor! I'm calling about Andor. You wanted news if I had it.
Yes, please, go on.
The mother!
You were talking about Andor.
Yeah, she's passed away.
Andor's mother?
The months are back and forth with Coruscant about it.
Are you saying that he's there?
No, I'm in Moana.
Where is Andor?
Yes, that's it. He might show up at the funeral.
When?
If he's not in there, sir, has to...
Oh, don't tell me Andor went back. That money is not there, bro. The manifesto might be there, though. Is his money still there? No way. No way. The credits and everything is still there. Weapons, everything. Why is he even looking at it? Just get that stuff and get out of there, bro. I thought he lost those credits and everything. I thought that stuff was gone. Scissor.
What's all this?
Please, that sound.
I don't know. Put it down, I'll give it back.
Damn, he's got to tell him.
I think not.
He's got to tell him.
Why?
He's not going to sacrifice Saw.
You were so eager for it.
ISB knows Krieger's plan. They'll be waiting for it.
How do we know this?
I won't tell you that.
And Krieger, he doesn't know. How do you know I won't tell him?
I don't know what you'll do. It's far from ideal for either of us.
You're willing to burn him.
You're the random factor.
He's 30 men.
Plus Krieger.
So you know he's doomed. Which means either you're ISB or there's someone inside that you are protecting.
Or I'm just a very good listener.
You think it's worth losing Krieger?
Man.
You have people everywhere, don't you?
You're avoiding the question.
All of your sources.
Try to concentrate.
There's someone with Krieger, someone at ISB. Maybe there's someone here with me.
You're wasting time.
Why wouldn't you?
You're avoiding the choice.
Who is it? Who is it?
Man. Saw's starting to get paranoid.
It's choose.
What
Come on, he tells me everything. Tell him, he deserves to know.
What is this? What kind of game is this? There's no way out alive. Of that you must be sure.
I'm doing this so you'll listen. So listen. Krieger goes down. The ISB will feel invincible. They'll feel untouchable. We'll have a clear field to play. The alternative, Krieger pulls out, we wave him off. They'll know they'll have to wonder. They'll trust nothing. Just like you're doing right now. If I were ISB Saw, why wouldn't I just send you out there with him?
For the greater good.
Call it with your help.
Let's call it war.
War.
Now that sentence has so much more context. Yeah, he's totally leaving his job and going to Marlana. Or Ferrix. Is he stealing money from her, from his mom? I think he stole money from his mom.
I'm preparing for every outcome. Listen. Listen.
Oh.
Burn, port thruster 4. Rivet. Port sound thruster 4.
Aldor on Hullcraft, please disengage any propulsion units and prepare for track to beat.
Affirmative, Patrol.
I have an engine overheating here, so it may take a moment.
What's he doing? Tractor force up 5. Does he think he can get away?
Listen, 5. Some pirate Hullcraft.
Where does he think he's gonna go?
Final warning, Hullcraft. Power down immediately or risk full consequences.
Oh. Nice. I am loving this ship.
So the Hullcraft track to beacon is failing us. I can see that. Where's my air wing?
Space battle. Space battle.
Tractor beacon yourself.
Nice. 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 I'm loving it. Who says this show is not Star Wars? Get the... Lightsabers. Lightsabers. What? There's no lightsabers in this show? Liars. Nice. Excellent scene. Excellent scene. Nice.
Cass, I'm sorry. Your mother's dead.
Fuck.
You got through? It's okay?
Yeah. Everything okay? Because what if we're the only ones? Somebody's got to tell people what's happening down there. We need to split up. Double our chances. One of us has to make it. People have to know what's going on. I know. Take this. People have to know about this.
That's at the end of the episode. Yeah, darn it. Okay. So, really, really good episode. Once again, very nice. Slow burn, obviously, but there was some action, which is actually what I expected with this particular episode, because it is a 2-episode arc. That obviously they would not go without any action whatsoever. We did get a nice action sequence, a nice space battle sequence, which was kind of spoiled in the trailer a little bit. But there were some very cool moments that were not spoiled in the trailer. The countermeasures that took out the tractor beam on the Imperial ship, which is really, really cool. And also that is a concept ship. I believe it has appeared in Star Wars previously, if I'm not mistaken, maybe once before. But this may be the first live action version of it. I think the other version of this may have been an animated version of this same ship from one of the animated series that I can't recall. I don't know if it was, I highly doubt it was Clone Wars. I think it was more or less Rebels. That may have featured this particular ship at one point, but I could be wrong about that as well. But really, really cool stuff. Really enjoyed this episode, much like the others. A lot of exposition. We did get to touch on quite a few storylines. We have Surreal Karn is probably on his way. I'm assuming he's on his way to Ferrix, but he did mention to his former partner with the corporation that they need to speak further. So I don't know if he's on his way to Morlana or if he's on his way to Ferrix. My assumption is that he's on his way to Ferrix to see if he can catch up with Andor. So now you have a third player that's looking for Andor. And then, of course, we visited with Mon Mothma. She is letting Val know what her troubles are. My assumption is Val, obviously she knows that the money from Aldani could be available. I don't know if she's going to go to Luthen to see if she can get the 200,000, I think it is, that Mon Mothma needs, so she can avoid having to make this arrangement with the banker. However, I don't think that's going to be something that's going to be possible. I think she's going to have to move forward with this banker. It's just something that's going to pull Mon Mothma deeper into this fight with the rebellion in a place where she doesn't want to go, but that's what it takes to fight the Empire. So I think this is how she's going to learn that there's no way that she cannot get her hands dirty as much as she would like not to, which is really interesting. And then we also met up with Saw Gerrera. Really, really cool exchange between him and Luthen. And what's funny is the Empire is in the area as well, so they might be tipped off that Saw is in the area, which is as well, since we saw that Imperial cruiser was basically patrolling the area. That's how they caught up with Luthen. Maybe perhaps they've gotten some word that Saw may be in this area, and that's why they're patrolling that particular area. So that's also an interesting tidbit that could be possibly explored in the finale as well. That exchange with Luthen and Saw Gerrera, you could see the distrust between the two. He's unsure if Luthen's ISB. Luthen basically has to pull a blaster out on him to kind of get him to listen and convince him that he's not ISB, but giving up Krieger would be for the greater good of the cause. And I think Saw does come to that understanding. And I think this also shows us where Saw kind of develops this mentality as well for himself, where certain individuals can be expendable at the cost of the greater good. I think this is where he learns it from Luthen as well. You can see that the ideals between Luthen and Saw are very, very similar. But obviously Luthen is a bit more seasoned when it comes to this. And obviously we'll see that Saw will also be a very much seasoned veteran. I mean, he's a veteran already, but you can see that he's getting a little more seasoning with his experience with Luthen and how he moves about in regards to moving this rebellion forward. So really good exchange between those two in this episode as well. Always enjoyable to see the two great actors bouncing off of one another in a scene, which is what we saw there once again with those two. And then, of course, we see, as I mentioned earlier, Luthen having to battle the Empire and this Imperial cruiser. They have the tractor beam on them. Luthen stalls to get his countermeasures up and running. When they get up and running, it destroys the tractor beam dish, and he breaks free from the tractor beam, and then he engages with a couple of TIE fighters to give us a little bit of a space battle. And then we also get a look at the Starship Sabers on his ship. So for those who said that there would be no lightsabers or this show does not feel like Star Wars, well, there is your very much Star Wars moment right there with Luthen against the Empire in the space battle, using lightsabers on his ship to get away and escape from the Empire. So really interesting scene right there, and very enjoyable action. And as I thought, I knew we would get a little bit of more action in this particular episode, along with a lot of setup for our finale's storylines. And then, of course, we catch back up with Cassian, who surprisingly was able to recover not only the credits that he has, but his weapons, the manifesto as well, which should have been a tip-off that, I mean, because we know the manifesto is very key and probably something that Cassian is going to spend some time with, especially now that he's going to have to reflect on his mother's death. So we should have known that he was going to at least get that back in his possession. The fact that it was with his credits and everything else should have been the tip-off that he actually would recover all of that, all of his belongings that he should have lost being in prison for God knows how long he was there. He was there at least a month or more in the prison, because we know at one point he had been through 36 different rotations in the prison. So he had been there at least more than a month in the prison before his escape with Minchie, and I hope I'm getting that character's name correct. And very interesting that those two actually split from one another as well. I thought they would hang out because obviously we know they're going to meet back up in the rebellion at some point. So it'll be interesting to see how those two meet back up with each other. They may just both find themselves in the rebellion and meet up that way, just becoming a part of this fight, because they're basically both on the run as well. They're going to be wanted men who escaped from this prison. And another thing we didn't touch on, the ISB, at least at this point, and why would they, they have not been notified or are not concerned about the prison break on Narkita 5, but I think through some investigation they may find that they had Cassian at one point. It'll be interesting to see if Deidre will get that realization that they actually had Cassian at one point and allowed him to escape. It'll be really good to see her get that realization that they actually had the person that she was looking for and lost them, along with Luthien, but she won't know that as either, because they don't know who was in that ship that escaped them. Speaking on the scene with Luthien escaping from the Empire. So really, really good episode, and very good setup with some finale storylines with Ferrix. We have the daughters of Ferrix as well that we got an opportunity to see, who are taking care of, or who took care of Marva and her funeral. Very interesting, the tradition of the Ferrix community, where your ashes are molded with the brick, and you become basically a part of the community. So that community is made up of a lot of the dead from the Ferrix. So very interesting background on Ferrix, and something very cool to add to the Star Wars lore there. So really, really interesting episode, and I did enjoy it a lot, as I have enjoyed this particular series, guys. I'm going to go ahead and score this episode. I'm going to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. Very good setup, again, for our storylines going forward into the finale. And then also we got a very, very good action scene with Luthien escaping the Empire, and also getting a look at that concept ship in live action as well. So really good episode. Cannot wait for next week, guys. And I hope you do join me next Wednesday for our finale, just before the Thanksgiving holiday of this particular series, which has been absolutely outstanding. And then, of course, as I mentioned last week, filming will begin on season 2. Just a little bit of information on season 2 from the showrunner, Gilroy. He has mentioned that we are more than likely going to see a couple of legacy characters. Obviously, one of the obvious characters that we should see will be Bail Organa, I'm assuming. We may see Ahsoka, I'm not sure. We do know that Ahsoka becomes Fulcrum at some point, and she is basically helping the different factions of rebels, kind of coordinating them without them obviously knowing of each other. She will also become in contact with our rebels from Star Wars Rebels. So those are some characters that we could possibly see in season 2, perhaps in the background. However, Gilroy is not into unnecessary cameos, so you would have to temper your expectations for some of those characters, such as Sabine, Ezra, Kanan, showing up in this particular series, because their presence wouldn't actually be necessary in this particular series. However, Bail Organa most definitely would be necessary in this series. A couple of other of the leaders of the rebellion, Takodana, others such as that, we may see in season 2 of the Andor series, which again we'll start filming in the next couple of days, and hopefully we'll see in the next year or year and a half possibly 2 years from now. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in regards to this episode and the series. Did you enjoy this episode? Are you enjoying this series as much as I have? Guys, let me know and put those comments down below. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.